score so far. And let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Jaguars. Devin Villardello about to lead off in center field. Jim Wagner hitting second at third base. And the starting right fielder, Harrison Moore, hits third. Zach Goebel, the designated hitter. Your rating, Peach Belt Conference Player of the Week and Regional Player of the Week is the cleanup man and doing the designated hitting for the Jaguars. And the first pitch to Villardello is right in there for a called strike, 0-1. Hitting fifth, Mason Robertson at second base. The catcher, Brent Alford, hit sixth. Patrick Watson in the lineup today, replacing the normal starting left fielder, Bakari Gale. Watson in left field today hit seventh. Hobbs, the first base, Ty Hobbs, starting at first base, hitting eighth. And Trent Maddox, the starting shortstop, is the number 9 hitter. And the 1-1 pitch to Villardello misses downstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Once again, the Jaguars starting pitcher today is Matt Meeks, and the Jaguars are facing on the mound for the Nighthawks Derek Pickvet, right-hander, a 5.60 ERA this season, 1-3. This is his 8th appearance in as many starts on the season for the Nighthawks. 2 balls and 2 strikes, count as even on Villardello, and swings and hits that one up the middle to short, and the throw over to first is not in time, and it's going to go over to the wall. And safe at first is Villardello. Should be an infield single with his speed, and it is.
2 things here. Pickford trying to exercise and exploit the corners early. He did a very good job of that, but left one over the inner third of the plate where Villardello could punch it into the ground. Slow developing play, and with Villardello's speed, it might have been wise just to hold on to that ball as that ball sails underneath the glove and over to the wall. Good thing the catcher there, Perez, was backing that play up to keep Villardello at first if you are a Nighthawks fan.
Called strike 1 to Jim Wagner, 0-1. Wagner normally hits 5th or 6th in the lineup. He's moved up to the 2 spot here in this game. No balls and a strike, the count. Check on the runner at first. And here's the pitch. That misses outside for a ball, 1-1. Now, here's something that may or may not play to an advantage for the Jaguars. Opponents facing Pickvet in this season on the mound, when Pickvet is on the mound for the Nighthawks, his opponent's average is 291 this season.
It's going to be a slippery slope to tackle for the Jags. They're starting off on the right foot, though, with that single by Villardello, and they arguably have their speediest runner on the team in Villardello at first base. So it's boding well, but you may look here to provide a little bit of ABC baseball to get the first run on the board of the game, and that will be in the hands of the Jags if they can stretch this across.
And called strike on Wagner, so 1 gone here in the bottom of the first. That's going to bring up Harrison Moore.
And the thing with Moore, too, in his at-bats, he's been very consistent, hitting for contact and hitting for average, not trying to do too much with a baseball. He does possess power when he has a chance to run into one, as we saw yesterday with a triple from Moore. But he's a very consistent and average hitter for the Jags, and in a really good spot here in the number 3 hole for the Jags.
That is fouled away by Moore, 1-1 with 1 out. And a man on. Aces are wild in inning number 1. And the 1-1 in there for a called strike. 1-2. On Moore. And he swings and misses for strike 3, and just like that, 2 outs here in the inning. Back-to-back strikeouts by Pickvet, with Villardello still on first after the leadoff infield single. And here's Zach Goebel.
When you're in a pitcher's count like that, like Moore was, it's never really a good idea to sit dead right on a fastball. And Moore was fooled when Pickett came with a change up there and swung right over the top of it. Because then a pitcher can feast on the aggressiveness of the hitter, and he can also throw something like that, like a changeup or a curveball, and have the hitter way out in front.
Called strike to Goebel, 0-1. And the 0-1 misses 1-1.
So now, with that strikeout, they're 2 down in the inning.
And the 1-1 misses. 2 balls and a strike to the reigning Peach Belt Conference and Regional Player of the Week, getting the honors in both of those categories last week did Zach Goebel, and what a fine season he has had here in Augusta so far as the designated hitter in 2018. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 balls and 1 strike to Goebel. Not a big lead for Bill Ardello at first base. With his speed and there being 2 outs, they are holding him on.
Usually you see pitchers trying to carve hitters up with their pitch selection and their pitch speeds, variations, and things like that. For a hitter, if you want to dice up a pitcher, it's the opportune time to enter into an at-bat like Goebel has now in a hitter's count, 3 balls and 1 strike. That way you can wait on your pitch and then seize on that pitch and attack that ball when it comes right into your wheelhouse.
He takes on the 3-1, and it's a called strike on the inside corner, and now expect Bill Ardello with full count and 2 outs to take off with the pitch. Goebel will try to extend the inning for the freshman second baseman, Mason Robertson. And here's the pitch, runners going, and it misses outside for ball 4, 2 on with 2 outs. We saw the Nighthawks put 2 on with 2 outs in the top of the inning, and they stranded both runners, and now the Jaguars in the bottom of the inning with 2 on and 2 outs, and Mason Robertson coming to bat.
Robertson with another at bat here in an RBI situation, in an imperative situation for the Jags to jumpstart their scoring early. In yesterday's game, he came up with the bases loaded and could not produce. Let's see if he produces here in this spot.
He looks at the ball downstairs. 1-0 on Robertson. And the 1-0 miss, it's in there for a called strike. 1-1 now.
And for a freshman too, this is invaluable experience. Coming up in positions like this, he will see these type of scenarios all throughout his collegiate career, and if he moves up into the minor league ranks and professional ranks. So this is very valuable experience, and he can take experiences like this and learn from it, especially the at-bat yesterday where he couldn't come through. Let's see now if he's learned from that and can pierce through for the first run of the game.
Count is 3 balls and a strike to Mason Robertson. And the 3-1 misses for ball 4. So a pair of walks this inning and an infield single. And the bases are loaded for the Jaguars. A huge opportunity here in the bottom of the first to try and give Matt Meeks the lead. And that's going to bring the Nighthawks coach Tom Cantrell out from the dugout for a little mound visit. He's going to bring his entire infield in for a discussion here. And now you just wonder what kind of leash Pickett will have in this game for the Nighthawks.
If it's not necessarily say in this inning, but it also, the further you go in an inning like this and the more pitches you throw, it tires your arm out, so where won't may not be able to go as long as you want to in the game. So where he might have thought about going 6 or 7 or 8 innings, this inning may only limit him to 5 or 6 innings, depending on what happens the rest of the game. So it's a crucial inning for the Jags to keep working the counts and working the arm of Pickford here.
Their bullpen for the Nighthawks is definitely fresh enough if they want to use it for a lot of innings today. They didn't use it at all in Friday's game, and they used it very minimally yesterday.
As you mentioned that, Robert, the Nighthawks are now starting to warm up an arm in their bullpen, not taking any chances with seeing how this series in both of the first 2 games have gone.
Now a ball and 2 strikes to Alford. He looks at a ball outside. Jaguars have the bases loaded this inning, and the ball has not yet left the infield. And that's up the middle. Base hit to right field. 1 run is in. They're going to wave Goebel around third. No throw home. He scores 2 runs in a 2-run single for Brett Alford. 2-0 Jaguars here in inning number 1.
The mentality behind that at bat for the Jags was absolutely crucial. Not trying to pull the ball, let the ball travel deeper into the strike zone, bring the bat head behind the hands through the zone with the opposite field approach, lacing one into right field. Picture perfect mentality coming up in a tight situation here for the Jags, and they produce with a couple of runs.
That extends the inning for Patrick Watson, and Watson chops one foul, 0-1. Watson, the number 7 hitter for the Jaguars tonight, starting in left field in this game. He has only started in 5 games this season. This is his 6th start. He's behind in the count here, 0-2. He has an .063 average on the season. Normally comes on as a defensive change late in the game. And he's starting today in place of Bakari Gale, who normally starts in left field. Ball and 2 strikes now to Watson. And the pitch, high chopper over the head of the first baseman, Jake Arnold. And that's going to score Robertson from third. And on his way to third from first is Alford, an RBI single for Watson. And boy, is that a big one. Jaguars lead it 3-0 here in the first.
The power through the zone there to not only bat it through the ground, but create a high enough hop on the grass, which is hard to do, over the head of the first baseman. A tremendous at bat there by Patrick Watson, who, like you mentioned, may come in for a pinch hitter spot occasionally, and has had some starts, but he doesn't get to play that often, and especially with the bat in his hand. So a very productive at bat for Patrick Watson.
And now the number 8 hitter, Ty Hobbs. If he can extend this inning for Maddox, the Jaguars will bat around in the first inning. Ball and no strikes on Hobbs, and believe it or not, as Hobbs looks at a called strike count now even 1-1, that is Watson's first RBI of the season. And what a big one as well. And the 1-1, grounded to short, throw to first, in time for the out. That ends the inning, but not before the Jaguars take a 3-0 lead here in the first inning. We go to the second here at the Lake. We'll be back.